As you mentioned, there are many countries that want to regain their old empire status, like Russia, Turkey, China, even India. That requires interference in another sovereign country. My question is, how do these countries justify their actions? And secondly, how are India's ambitions different from these other imperialist powers? India has no stated ambitions. You will never see an Indian leader, an Indian prime minister, president, defense minister, or anybody ever saying that India has imperial ambitions. And you have not witnessed a single Indian leader having said such a thing in the last 100 years. So India has no such stated ambitions. India has no imperial ambitions. That needs to be reiterated. Show me a single instance of an Indian leader saying that India wants to take over other countries. You will not see that, right? Okay, now the thing that is asked over here is that many countries want to do this. They have imperial ambitions, which requires interference in other sovereign countries. How do these countries justify the actions? There is no need to justify it. Might is right. Do the American? Yeah, you can talk about principles and all that. Like the Americans always say, we are bringing democracy. We believe in a rules based order, global order. When somebody is acting badly, behaving badly, we will go and reimpose democracy there. So that is the justification or the pretext for invading countries and destroying countries, right? So that is the American model, that you first take the moral high ground. You talk about democracy, you talk about liberal democracy, you talk about human rights, even though you are violating all these things, but you use the right words, and then you invade. So you first take the moral high ground, you justify your invasion based on that moral high ground that you've taken, and then you invade. So the Russians, if you see Mr. Putin's speech before he ordered the invasion, he issued a justification of why he is doing this, that this is all historically Russian territory. And you know what? If you study the history of the region, you will find that he was right. This was historically all Russian territory for centuries, right? So there are all kinds of justifications you can issue, but at the end of the day, in geopolitics, might is right. So you don't necessarily need to issue justifications, right? And there is no right or wrong in geopolitics. Please understand this. Indians have this great hang up. Things have to be justified. You can't do certain things. It's immoral, unethical to do certain things. That applies only to India, apparently. Everybody else can do what they want. But if India does something, it's unethical. It is unjustified. You know what? There is no such thing as right or wrong in geopolitics. If you can do it, you do it. That's just the way the world works. Look at the past 1,000 years of Indian history. Right? Everybody came and took whatever they wanted for 1,000 years. That's why India is such a broken down country. That's why the economy is so small, because they stole all our wealth. And all that wealth that was stolen from India, hundreds of trillions of dollars of worth of wealth was stolen from India. It is currently in the West. The West has grown at India's expense. So, in the future, if India were hypothetically to harbor imperial ambitions, who can blame India for that? Right? I'm not saying India should do it or India has any such ambitions. I'm just saying, if hypothetically India were in the future to develop such ambitions, who is anybody to show talk about human rights and all that, ethics and morality? There is no ethics or morality in geopolitics, as we can see.